people. Can I just set that here? Okay. So I haven't been here in a while because I'm not from here. I'm from Wanamingo. It's kind of a drive. And I also deleted my existence off of all Meta. Like I found to permanently delete Facebook and Instagram like months ago.
Wow.
And I just kind of like detuned from the world and kind of like gone into my own little like woo-woo lulu crazy world of like rocks and channeling spirits. So now I'm up to 9 stacks on each hand as I recovered from cancer and the car accident. So I'm 5 years cancer free. And I did it with music and vibrations and like natural healing. The doctors didn't do anything. They just popped a tumor out and they said, go back to normal, keep showing up for your every 4 months, every 6 months, and if it comes back, we'll talk. And they never gave me any instruction what to do, just go back to normal. And I said, no, not for me. So I went acupuncture, did yoga, did Reiki. I've been doing like healing touch and like learning things about your chakras and frequencies. And I just down-tuned my piano to A432 hertz tuning this past month. That was a headache and a half because you can only tune the piano 2 hertz at a time, you know, and then let it sit and acclimate, and then wait for the temperature to be right, and tune it down a little bit more. So I went from 440 to 438, waited a week to 436, 434, and now it's at 432 and acclimating. So 2 more tunings to go for it to set, and it'll actually resonate with the earth frequencies. And it's really incredible how you can feel it, and like even you can see the difference in the waveforms in Adobe Audition between the 440 waves and the 432 waves. They look nicer and happier and cleaner. So, and when I tuned it that way, there's another tidbit. You set your temperament, and most people tune to C with A440, but if you start in the G tone, that's your root chakra, and then A is your sacral chakra, B is your solar plexus, C is your heart, D is throat. You jump to F sharp for third eye, and then G5 is your crown chakra, and those together make up your 7 chakras that you want to activate and balance to live a healthier, you know, flow of life. But if you tune to 432, it resonates better because that's with the earth frequency, and there's actually like pure tones that lie in between you can use. But if you just make your G major 7th chord, that's what I call the key of healing. And if you want to balance yourself and get rid of anxiety, the massive C to F is your heart chakra, and that one flows between your throat and your third eye chakra, which balances this whole like hemisphere here, like the main function of your body. So if you think like George Harrison, he did a lot of songs with C and F chord progressions. And those are divine maths. So just something to know if you play guitar. You can easily tune down to 432 hertz. And you know how your G string always acts up? And you always try and like make it match everything else? Even on the piano, the G string is like, what the heck? And we're always trying to force it up to A440. You have to tune A to 432 and then make the G string happy. When the G string is happy, base everything off of that. Just so you know. So, that said, frequencies. So if you have a piano, if you have an instrument, if you just play in the key of G major 7th, you'll make your body happy.
I'll check that out on my guitar tuning.
So that's always how I always start my sessions on the piano every day. And I do that without recording anything, and I call that my offering to the goddesses and the fairies. I have all these rocks and stones on my piano, like to channel all the energy and stuff. And after I give my offering, then I go and hit record and just like flow in the moment with whatever. And I release those as daily piano. And I've been frequencying them down in Adobe Audition because my piano's been at 440. So if you have Adobe Audition, when you do your recordings on a piano at 440, if you go into the pitch effects and pitch it down minus 0.32 semitones, and let it slow down, don't constrict it. It's just like slowing down the waveform to bring it down to pitch. It'll go to like 101.87%, and it'll just add a few seconds to your track, but that'll bring it down to 432 hertz resonance. So you can do that if you can't tune your piano, just down tune it in Adobe Audition minus 0.032 semitones. And I don't know how to do that. C and F. I talk about music as magic. When you sing and you apply that to the notes, that embeds into your brain. And it's something that I keep telling everybody on my Patreon. I'm just like, you have to be careful what you listen to and be careful what you choose to sing, because you're actually casting spells on yourself. If you're singing songs that are like projecting hate and like isolation into the music, even though you're like, this is a jam, this is an upbeat thing, your subconscious doesn't know the difference. And because you're singing those words in harmonic frequency, it embeds into your systems, your chakra systems. So there's a song that I always end my sessions on, and sometimes begin it. It's by Will Wood and the Tapeworms. It's called Self. And he talks about shaking the apples from your family tree to break family cycles, and you have to remember to be yourself above all things. So that's in the key of C and F. It uses those frequencies, C and F. And I have a tutorial on my YouTube how to play this song by Will Wood and the Tapeworms. The best spell. If you can sing it every single day, you'll love yourself and you'll like radiate and just start like just doing what you want to do, because you keep telling yourself, I'm going to be myself in the song on the C and F frequencies. Just FYI. Take the apples from my family tree. So when the autumn comes to take the leaves, we'll write history books from memories. And we forget. Well, I don't remember 2012, but I heard the world would turn to hell. And compared to that, well, I'm doing well. So I pray to God it really did. Well, they always ask you not to leave, and by then, yes, they remember me. So, our niece, she's 13 now, but she, when I was last in the hospital, and I went to the psych ward, and they B-52'd me, and I got like the best night's sleep ever in my life. And in the hospital, you're stuck watching stuff, so I made the security guard watch the Barbie movie with me. And that song by Billie Eilish, it's a CF song, What Was I Made For? And it's so beautiful. But I play it instrumental and I don't sing the words because the words are very like sad. I would rather just focus on the frequencies and how healing it is and how good it feels. So this is my instrumental take on the Barbie song from Billie Eilish. There's something about like blues and jazz that, like, I'm a self-taught musician. I taught myself how to play piano just by playing by ear, and I played clarinet in bands, so I could read treble clef, and I understand what chords are, but everything else is just kind of like just by ear. So there's like these things called like fake books, and then there's like jazz ones called real books, where it just like gives you the melody line and just the generic chords. And there's a song called Blue and Green by Miles Davis. He's a trumpet player. That is like the biggest brain fart of weird chords. But you sit there and you just like do the math, 7th, 11th, this, that, and you just like find what they are. And like the melody builds itself based on the chords. And then when you start understanding it, you can just slop around and it sounds good. And so if you want to practice improvising and being okay with making mistakes and just like rolling with the punches and letting things be what they are, you should look into Miles Davis Blue and Green. There are so many versions of it. There's so many jazz musicians go all sorts of places with it, so you don't have to feel bad what you're doing to it. You know, just let it be garbage. It's beautiful garbage, and you'll wrap your head around it, and blue and green will just like, it'll unlock like a whole new ballgame for you as a
Looking it
musician.
up now.
You forget where you are, but because it starts on a G minor 7, and you're playing that with E, C sharp, D, and E, then you go to an A major dominant 7, but your melody is on the C major. The whole thing is just like, what am I looking at? But when you wrap your head around it, oh my gosh, like fireworks. Want me to keep going?
Keep going.
Keep going?
Let's go with one more and
And then we can go back to the top.
Chris and Lane have yet to come up, so.
We'll play Name That too, and you should be able to recognize this.
changed it up there where you
Yeah.
did that little
The
gal
wall.
thing. That was awesome. Yeah.
Gotta change it, right?
Yeah. That was sweet.
I got this week and I saw you.
Oh my
Carry
gosh.
around ever since.
Thank you.
Thank you.